I've been putting this off, but we're going to do an August wrap up, okay? So here's my August wrap up. Get excited. I'm so sorry for what you're about to witness because we had a string of books that I did not like. And then my top book, which was amazing, and I want to talk about it. And then we had two more books that were from my August September TBR. I only read two books in the 2 week period from when I posted that video. So this is not going to include all the books. For the September TBR wrap up, you'll get that next month. But for now, we're going to go through our August TBR. And I'm so sorry that I did not like many of these. And I'm going to seem like such a hater, and I'm so sorry. I just had a string of bad books. No, they're not bad. They're books I did not enjoy personally, okay? That doesn't mean these people are bad writers or they wrote bad stories. It just means that for me, they were not it. A lot of these books had really great reviews, okay? Just because I don't like them doesn't mean you might not. You might read it and think this is the best book you've ever read, and I don't get why Bookshelfer didn't like it. And that is completely okay. Okay, so we're going to go through it. I'm so sorry in advance. First book was Swear on My Life. It was a second chance romance between small town girl and her billionaire childhood crush who she previously, I believe, had a relationship with. I didn't like it. I've read S.L. Scott's books before, and I just haven't had much luck with them. I will probably keep trying because I sometimes get drawn to them and I want to like them, but it was not my vibe. And it made me sad that I didn't like it because I wanted to, because it had such good reviews and everybody was like, I love these characters. I just can't do it. So to give you a little background on me before we continue, I am very much a person that in order to be into a series, especially if it is a series of standalones or series in general, I have to be connected to the characters, to the book, to the book, of course, to the plot, you know? There has to be something there that drags me back. When I talk about rereading books, I'm not just rereading the book because it was a good story. I'm rereading it because I want to revisit these characters. I want to see their love and see their story come to life again and again and again. It's kind of like when you're visiting someone in a cafe. You know, you come back to hang out with these friends because you like their vibe. You like who they are. And if you don't like who they are, you're not going to hang out with them. Like, what is the point? Okay? That's how I see rereading books. So, I will say that as a caveat because you're about to learn a lot about me today based on these reviews, okay? So the next book was my top book. I'm not going to mention it yet. We're going to save that to the end because I like to save the best for last, baby. So the next books were Jewel Lake series by Claire Wilder. So the first one is Love Runs Deep. I thought the premise of this book was really interesting. I enjoyed it. So basically our main character, Catherine, is burnt out. She messed up a case. So her boss, who is like the top lawyer at this firm, he tells her, you need a break. Go to my cabin in the woods and chillax for a minute. Well, it's technically not a cabin in the woods. It's a lake house, but you know what I mean. Like, go to this lake house, go chill, take a break. I don't need you here. You're messing everything up. So she goes and she meets his nemesis, and they have an attraction. It feels kind of insta love for me, which is not my vibe personally. So if you like insta love, you might like this book. For me, I wasn't. I'm not into insta love. I want like more of a foundation before the love is there. So I couldn't connect as much to the characters. So the plot was good, but I couldn't connect to the characters. So for me, it was a 3-star out of 5. I would not read it again because I just don't feel like I would revisit them. But I would recommend if you're looking for a small town read and you want to check this one out. I don't think it was bad. I just did not connect with me. Hi y'all, it's Editing Bookshelfer. I was editing this video and I realized that I said the wrong name for the next book. I actually repeated Love Runs Deep, as in the name of the book, and then said the plot of the next book. The next book in the Jewel Lake series is, according to Goodreads, No Plans for Love. That one. Oh, spoilies. That one. So, anyway, my opinions are still the same. It's still the right book that I'm describing. I just said the wrong name. So I have to include this clip. But anyway, love y'all. Thanks for watching. On with the show. That is also connected to the series. Basically, that main top lawyer that was like, go take a break, go upstate. You know that song from Hamilton? Take a break, go upstate. Anyway, he is building a house. And so he hires his, it's going to be, bear with me. She is a life coach, formerly an interior designer. Okay? He hires her to help do the interior design for his house. And they're working with another contractor. Graydon. So Lucy and Graydon, this is their story, their romance. They previously had met. I don't remember if they had a one night stand or not. I think they might have, but at least they had a previous attraction to each other. So this is a workplace romance with close proximity and attraction and whatnot. I thought it was really good. 4 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it a lot, and I enjoyed the plot a lot. This is not one I would revisit. I wanted to revisit so bad. Like, I wanted to love it, and I did not. But that's okay. Sometimes you read a book and you really enjoy it, and you don't have to reread, and that's okay. Then the last book was the one I was most excited for, and then I just did not feel it. It was His Hot Mess, and it was Sadie. It's the sister of Catherine from the first book, and I liked her because she is considered a flawed character, quote unquote. They consider her flawed. They consider her, she's somebody who has had multiple jobs because she just follows her passions and like wants to find that one thing that she really loves. And I think that's such an admirable trait in a book character and in a person in general, somebody who's not afraid to quit and start over and over again. I really thought I would enjoy this book. I think the problem for me here was not Sadie. I loved Sadie. It was her leading man, Chris. I did not love Chris. He had been left at the altar, so he had some previous trauma with relationships. And I just felt like the hot and cold thing from them was just not working for me. And I wouldn't even say it was too hot and cold, but like it was enough that I was like, okay. Like, when are we going to get to the good stuff, you know? So I thought it was enjoyable, but I don't think I would revisit. And actually, I did not read any of the other books because I wasn't interested in it. All right, the next book is From the Ashes by Katie Michelle. I wanted to like this book. It's a barista named Rumi who is a single mother, small town romance, and she was previously in an abusive relationship. And then the main guy, Jack, has some trauma because his best friend died. He's a firefighter, and he died in the line of duty. I really wanted to like this book, but something with these characters' relationship, like Rumi and Jack, did not click for me. I did not see the romance very well. I didn't really like the representation in the story. I've read a couple books that deal with domestic violence in a romance setting, and I just didn't feel like this book did it as well as those other books. So I didn't really agree with some of the things that happened in this book pertaining to that situation. I don't want to give spoilers because it's a major spoiler for the book. But I will say, make your own opinion for yourself. Read it for yourself. See if you like it. For me, it was not it. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars, which is unfortunate. I really wanted to like this, but it just was not working for me. And I just didn't really like the main guy. Jack was just not it for me. I feel so bad that I did not like the main guy. Next book, Finding Home, is by Alex Taylor. Overall, I did not like this book. I rated it 1 star. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I didn't like the main character. And by that I mean, so it's Cleo Maxwell is in a small town. She has a one-night stand with a stranger. But then he's back as the new fire chief, and they have like a romance going on. So he thought she was never going to see him again, but he's back as the new fire chief. And he has a young daughter, and she's his daughter's teacher. It's like a very convoluted plot line. But what I didn't like about it, and it wasn't so much the plot, it wasn't the characters. Actually, it was kind of the characters, but that's not the point. It was the way that the male MCM is possessive. So I've read a lot of books, from mafia books, from biker books, and I've read a lot of other morally gray men books, okay? Sometimes I like to dip a foot into dark romance. But I did not like the way that this character was possessive. And by that I mean it just didn't feel possessive. It felt controlling. And some of the actions that he took in the book, especially after they had a conversation regarding his possessiveness and jealousy, I did not like it. I did not like it at all. Hey, editing bookshelfer here. I just want to add to this, okay? So, for example, I've read, when I say I've read a lot of like dark romance books, I have. I really enjoy mafia romance and biker romances and things like that, of that nature, of that type, right? And I don't shy away from them. Like, I read Lights Out, those types of books. I know that one's not considered dark romance. A lot of people are like, it's not considered dark romance. I get it. I understand. But you know what I mean. Like, I understand the vibes of a dark romance. This was marketed as a small town romance. Like, it was, small town boy falls in love with small town girl, like Taylor Swift song, okay? We're thinking like that. And then he has his own issues, which I don't want to get into. That is his problem at this point. But I felt like the actions he took, like the jealous actions and the possessive actions he took, would be more appropriate for a book that is a dark romance. And maybe that's why it felt a little off to me when he did these actions in a romantic book setting. Also, I just didn't like that it was addressed by the main character and then he continued to do the action. And it just felt very... The actions he took later on were very, like, high school and didn't fit the actions of, like, a grown adult man. Like, I don't know. It was off. It was off. I did not enjoy. I did not recommend. I just did not enjoy at all this man. He was just... Every action he took, I was like, this makes no sense in this setting, in this context, in this marketing, in everything. Even if I had seen this in one of those dark romance books, I would have still been like, that seems very childish and very unlike your character. So I just, it just didn't do it for me. That is what I'm trying to say. Like, that action, and it wasn't just that specific action. It was just the main guy in general was just off for me. And you know me, character-driven, plot-driven are like the two important things. So the fact that I didn't enjoy that really just knocked off a bunch of stars for me, personally. And it just felt very controlling, but not like in a mafia romance controlling. It just felt red flag controlling, which I don't say a lot because I read a lot of romance. So usually red flags are not red, they're like pink and it's rose-colored glasses, but not in this case. Not in this case. Anyway, those are my 2 cents. I love you. Thank you for watching. I felt so bad because I really wanted to like it, but it's just the characters were just not it for me, and the plot was not working for me. Nothing about this was working, and that was unfortunate. Then the other book I read was Where the River Takes You by Sophie Sinclair. And it is at this point that I realized that maybe I should just stop reading small town romance for a little bit because I was just not vibing with any of them. And for various reasons. So I stopped. But it's basically Blakely Mayfield is an event planner and she messes up. She has her own business. She messes up and she goes to take a break, go upstate. Sorry, I have the Hamilton song stuck in my head. And then she meets Tucker Grayson. They end up having to room together. I give it 2 out of 5 stars. I say give it a try if you're interested. Something about it just didn't work for me. So it had a little bit of like former sports guy, baseball player romance. With the quirky small town and like the shenanigans of the older folk. I was hoping it would give me the vibes of like Lucy Score's Blue Moon series, because that's one of my favorite book series. But it just didn't do it for me. It didn't hit that right key where I would fall in love with it. I just didn't like the characters as much, and I felt like their romance was too fast and it didn't make sense. So it was like building, and then it just like continued onwards in a direction that I was like, oh, that was fast. Okay, so the only thing I want to say and elaborate on that, and I didn't want to record my face and have to convert a video, so that's why I'm doing it this way, is basically it wasn't that the relationship was too fast. It's that it was building, right? And then it just went into super speed. It's like when you're playing The Sims 3 and you speed forward at 3 times speed. That's what it felt like. So it was building at a regular, normal pace, and then it just went really fast to the point where it made it feel like an insta-love story, even though it technically wasn't an insta-love story. And the attraction between them was always there. So there is a building attraction that goes on. But in the beginning, you're like, is this just sexual or ... Anyway, that's what I meant. I'm so sorry if that did not come across. But yeah. So yeah, it was not for me. Again, I'm not into insta love. So if you're into insta love or even like these really fast building relationships, you might like this book. But for me, it wasn't it. And I didn't really gravitate towards the cast of characters that were surrounding them. It was trying to give Stars Hollow in a way with all the characters surrounding it, but it just wasn't doing it for me. So that was the other book. Now, we're going to move on to some of my September August, from the August-September reads. And those two were Carmilla. Michael said my husband, he said I pronounced it wrong. I'm so sorry. I'm working on it. When you speak 3 languages, it's hard to pronounce stuff in any of them, apparently. Okay. Carmilla is the name of the book that I read. It's a vampire sapphic romance. Pop it up here again. It was honestly not as sapphic as I thought it would be. It was fine. It was a 2-star out of 5-star read. The representation was not great, obviously, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So maybe it's because I went in with like this expectation that it was going to be the worst book in the world, but it wasn't. It was just not great representation, and it honestly was not as sapphic as I thought it would be. Then I read, and we can finally pop up a book. Isn't that exciting? We read My Vampire Plus One. I enjoyed this book. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't realize when I read it that it was the sequel to another independent standalone of the same series. That one is called My Roommate is a Vampire. I liked it. I thought it was really fun. I enjoyed the main character. I think she's interesting. So My Vampire Plus One is about our main character, who is called Amelia Collins. She is an accountant, and she's working for a very big firm. She's very stressed. She's in busy season. If you know any accountants in your lives, you know how bad busy season is. This feels like busy season for accountants, honestly, with the hours she's working. And she's working on this big client. So she steps outside her office one day and she runs into Reginald. Reginald is running from a group of people who want to kill him because of things that he did in his past. I won't give too much away because I like how everything is kind of revealed to you as you go. But long story short, Amelia and Reginald decide to start a fake relationship for their various reasons. He's trying to hide from the people that want to kill him. She's trying to make it so her parents stop talking about her being single in her 30s. It's a win-win situation for the both of them. And so as a result, they fake date. I thought it was a really cute story because he's a golden retriever and he just does not understand human things as well as the next person because he's obviously a vampire. But for someone who's been around for so long, I'm like, buddy, how did you not know? And yeah, I found it very interesting and I enjoyed the story a lot. It was a good read after everything I had read. So that was my last read of the month. And that was my August wrap up. That's all the books I read in August. Also, I read these while I was in a book slump. So it's possible. Oh my god, I didn't talk about my favorite book. Oh my god, I did the closing and I didn't even talk about my favorite book. Pause. Drum roll, please. My favorite book of the month was Trip Switch by Alison Specka. If I mispronounced your name, I'm so sorry. But I'll pop it up here. I loved this book. It had everything I was looking for and more, okay? First of all, you're going to read this book and you're going to say, I can't believe the main character is this jerky. Hold it. Give him a chance, okay? So first of all, we have Lila and Harrison. Those are the main characters. They're both in the wedding party for their best friends. He's the best man. She's the maid of honor, you know? And Lila has been trying her darnest to get Harrison to like her. And to no avail. Harrison is like, I don't like you. Or does he? Because Harrison, he is portrayed as this unlikable, grumpy character. And he is. He is unlikable. He is grumpy. But I think that my favorite part of this book is the growth that Harrison has throughout it. Not only do they fall in love, not only does their romance work and does it make sense, and do you actually get to see it build and become something, but on top of that, you get to see Harrison grow as a person because Harrison is black cat Lila, golden retriever, okay? Like, it is the true epitome of that trope. And I just really liked it. 4 out of 5 stars. I loved the premise of it. Basically, they're in the wedding party. Harrison doesn't like Lila. They go to the bachelorette trips. They're doing a joint bachelor and bachelorette trip. They go to the island. Oh my God. No, actually, they booked you on the wrong flight. Oh my God. No, actually, we're not even at that villa. We're not at that place. We're not even in that country. Oh my God. So now those two can't get back in time for the bachelor and bachelorette party. And instead, they're going to spend the whole vacation together because they're already there. So her best friend is like, just stay there. I'm so sorry this happened. I'm going to miss you at my bachelorette party. And I think it's so well done and so interesting. I really enjoyed the characters. I felt like they cared about each other. There was a couple things that I didn't like the miscommunication trope. But that trope, for me, it's hard for me to like that trope. But I think this did it in a way that made it more enjoyable for me. Like, you're going to listen to this, and if you don't like the miscommunication trope, you're going to be like, I don't want to read it. But I'm telling you to give it a chance, because even though it has that trope in it, and it wasn't really that much of a miscommunication, to be honest with you. It was just Harrison being a jerk and Harrison being insecure. And I'm just saying, I really think you should check out this book. It's really good. It's really well done. I really enjoyed it. I would read more books from this author. 4 out of 5 stars. Top book of the month. Ta-da! Yeah. So anyway, now officially I can say that's my August wrap up. Okay, there we go. I've read it. Those are my books. So I'll see you back here later, beginning of October, for more videos. And I'll probably post more in September. We'll see what I can post about. But yeah, I'll be reading my September TBR. I might do a reading vlog. Why not? Maybe that'll encourage me to really stick with it. Right now I'm reading My Heart is a Chainsaw. So if you want to see my review of that, stick around, subscribe, tell me your thoughts on all these books. Would love to know. If you've read Trip Switch, please let me know. Would love to hear your opinion on it. I really love that book. I think it holds a very special place in my heart. I would instantly reread. I want to visit these characters again eventually. Oh my God, I'm out of breath. Okay, bye. Thanks for everything. Thanks for reading, watching, all of the above. Bye.